Good evening, brothers and sisters. I'm happy to be here and happy to come back before you. I'd like to say peace be unto you. And we're coming to be able to talk about a very powerful subject, the beginning of an ignited move of the red man. And as you see around country, they're on horses and everything, reaching out to their brothers and sisters who are you and I. And they're trying to get us to get on the ball. The red man is standing up for their rights, and they're wondering where's the black man in all of this. Now, with that being said, they're opening up their reservations, opening up their, excuse me, brothers and sisters, excuse me very much.
One of you's gonna go to jail
Excuse
because
me
of
very
fucking
much.
But let me ask you something. Next time you get caught selling weed or having weed on you, do you think somebody's gonna try to cut you a break? If I go to goddamn jerk and everybody out that damn Jeep and I find 1 ounce of damn weed,
I can't even get rid of this. Can't even get rid of it. That interruption came through. Okay, so we're waiting on our sister. We have her here tonight. We'll be able to bring her in tonight. Thank goodness. I'm gonna try to keep this phone down. It's getting in the way. Stuff popping up on it. You know, when we're about to talk about something that makes sense and something that's intelligent, you have that problem. But nonetheless, we've got our sister coming on. She's going to tell us about the Catwanee Nation. It's very important. Chieftess Crystal Catawanee. She's 45 of the Catwanee Nation. And her father, Chief Suggs. Father, Chief Suggs. So, of the Catawanee. And we're looking forward very much to having her. We'll try to see what's taking her so long. Hopefully we won't get any more interruptions so that we could get down to business and bring our sister on. Need to be able to bring her on so that we can get her in the studio to talk to us about what's going on. Talk to us about her plans, the plan for her nation, what they're trying to do amongst other other indigenous people like you and I. Other indigenous people like you and I. We are indigenous. The black man is indigenous. I use the term black against my will because I know many brothers and sisters don't like the term. Unfortunately, because of the philology structure in America and the chains and bars on philology, we find ourselves using things against our will to explain the meaning to individuals who are limited to that expression. So when I do this, I don't do it in chastisement. I don't do it in pride. I do it in shame. I say it. I use it for what is used to be said, but nonetheless, I use it against my will. So when I say the term black, I just want you to know that I use it against my will. Also, brothers and sisters, you all that would like to chime in, if you would like to chime in, I'm going to copy this and put it in the post for those who would like to ask questions or chime in. Because I think it's important that you do ask questions. Any questions that you have can be directed here to me, and preferably when the sister gets on, then you'll be able to direct those questions to her. You will be able to ask her yourself these questions, any questions you have for the Chieftess. I'm going to just put it, if I can abbreviate it that way, out of all respect. Because many of the nations are trying to get us on their land, their property, and so that we will be of service and be of help. So that we will be of service and be of help. So we don't want you to hold anything back. Also, we're going to put. They have this new website they're working on, and I want to make sure that I get the right information to be able to put it out to you, but it explain some of your questions, and maybe you'll want to ask some of the questions while you have her on tonight. I'm going to send you this website, and many of you are able to look at this too. I want to make sure I put it inside, put it in the comment section, so you'll have that. Let me make sure that I put that down. So any questions that you may have. Now, if I can answer any of these questions, I'll answer it. But nonetheless, we're waiting on our sister to get on. And the minute that she gets on, she'll be able to answer those questions. So we're wondering, sister, are you out there? If you're out there, say something to us. We've given her the link so she can come in. We've dotted all I's and crossed every T tonight. We're not going to have what's happened to us last night to happen tonight. We've dotted every I and crossed every T. So we expect to have a good session tonight, a good talk, a good powwow tonight. And I'm making sure that I get it to the sister. I'm texting now because I hope we didn't by any means dampen her interest. And I don't think so, because I think she knows that anytime you're about to do some real work, the work of God, that you're going to run into some problems. And I believe this sister is spiritual enough that she would also know that. So we're waiting for the sister to come on and give us some knowledge. And I know you're eager, just like I am, to learn. So I'm waiting. I got a few questions myself. I got some questions myself, and I'm gonna put up again while I can. I'm going to put up the try to get her on so I can share the site of the Catawanee Nation. But I guess it doesn't do any good for us to get her on if she's not here, but we can at least go over the site for the Catawanee Nation for those that would like to know, and how this nation connects to West Africa, to Southern Africa, to Central Africa, to Eastern Africa, all the way to Ethiopia. And you need to know this, that the Obwiji of Africa is the Obwija of America. So the indigenous man of Africa is the same indigenous man of America. And if you'll notice, even the dress is the same. Another thing that we found out about this sister is that when they say the royal chieftess of the Catawanee Nation, Chieftess Crystal Catawanee, I want you to understand that she has royal connections to Queen Mary. And we have proof of that, and we're going to show it to you. A certain sensitive document we can't show, but with her on here, we'll be able to push the information out, what has been made public. So this is one that has come from among us, and she's saying that there's a whole lot of us that are attached, but we're blinded, and we're kept blind. This is the problem, and this is the reason they don't want us going over our heritage. So we have to, we're inspiring you. Our desire is to inspire you to research the African kingdom that you come from, as well as Kemet, because it will lead there. And her discussion and the research of scholars is that the princes and the prince and princesses and some kings and many queens were put in bondage here in America, put in bondage. So this is what we want you to know. So this is a real hot topic, and this is a whole lot. This is a whole lot. I'm excited. I'm waiting to hear and waiting to see how everything's tied in. You know, there's nothing done in the dark that won't come to the light, and everything that the sea has will be given up. Everything that the ground has will be given up. All truth will be unloosed and will float above the heavens to break up the lies. I'm so thankful for this opportunity. I am literally thankful for this opportunity to get our sister on. So I'm so very thankful. So I'm praying that she come through the portal to be able to do what I can't do. I don't have all the information. I've done amazing research. Once I've done the research, I found the sister, and after that, it took me some time to talk to her and ask her to come before you because she's very busy, and she runs a full-time farm, so self-sufficient naturally. She's connected to King James Butler of the Irish royal family, and this is documented. So, and if any of you have heard of Blackbeard, how he worked for Queen Anne and stopped working for her because he was against brothers and sisters being in bondage. We're going to hear all of that tonight. The same bloodline. That bloodline is connected again to King James Butler. Now, another thing I want you to know you need to be concentrating on is that a lot of the history in Europe is not organized. So you got a whole lot of history that's not organized in Europe. And why is this important? It's important because you can never depend on your oppressor to give you the truth about your history, because he's the one that's oppressed you. He's the reason that you and I are in the situation that we're in. Bondage is a global thing. That's a global phenomenon for Africans. Bondage is. And you have to think about that, brothers and sisters. You got to think about that. The global situation that bondage has, that bondage has put you in. The global situation and the global atrocity of racism worldwide put you and I in a situation where we don't know, many of us don't know our true names, don't know where we come from. We know we come from Africa, but not directly where. But some of us come from here. Some of our ancestors were in prison from this land. That's racism. It's what it does. It's what it did. But if I kill out a line of people that you've been knowing your entire life, you can't know your history. If I kill out 100 years of your elders and leave you there's no way that you can know that history. You've lost that faction of your life. You lost that faction of your history. And these are the things that we're going to be discussing. This is the why many are confused. And the white man knows it. He knows. He knows everything. He literally knows everything. And that's why it has to be discussed. And we have to certainly understand exactly what's going on. That he took the royal information, the royal builders, the technologists, the engineers, all these people of Africa, he took them. These are the people that he took in bondage. See, we have to know that. This is important. And if we don't know it, if we don't study it, then we can't have the full knowledge of who we are, the full knowledge of our contributions to the world, we won't have it. We won't have it. So our challenge, what is our challenge? Our challenge is to learn it. And we can only be so thankful that when an individual come by, it's almost like when the Muslims first began to hear, proselytes began to hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And they heard him teach that knowledge and teach beyond oppression. And they wondered who he was. They wanted to know, who is that man? With the knowledge that he speaks, who is that? Right? You said, just like your parents, I don't know what it is, but it lifts me up. His message makes me want to be a better person. And don't the scripture say when Elijah shall have come? Is that right or wrong? And so the message of Elijah is far reaching. The message of Elijah is far reaching now. Never in our life have we seen a message far reaching now. And it was the message of Elijah that ignited a global people. So we're waiting on our sister. She's going to get a chance to talk to us. She's going to talk to us. We've already sent the stuff to her email. So all she got to do is just take the information down and tap on in. And we're going to bring her in. We're going to be waiting on her to come on in and talk to us. Because this is a juicy subject. It's a wonderful subject. It's a long time coming. The red man is on the move now. This is the one we've been waiting on. Right? Because we got the battle axe is here. Is that right or wrong? The tomahawk is here. Huh? The black man, the indigenous black man is here. Is that right or wrong? We are here. We're waiting. We're willing. We're waiting and we're willing. So it's time for us to get up. We got to stand. We got to stand. Shall we let the red man stand alone? No. All he's asking us to come into his abode. He's going to provide. We're going to provide. We're going to provide for each other. Right? Because they're giving us a place to come and land and then helping us research our history, but building a bond. Building a bond. And so we've got to build this bond. We've got to build this bond. And it's time for us to build the infrastructure, as I told you. I told you the time was coming. The time was coming. Now the time is here. And the total man, the indigenous man of Africa, and the indigenous man of America, the indigenous man of Africa and America is standing up now. Oh, he's standing up. Standing up, standing up. And it's time to stand up and stand out, brothers and sisters. Today's the time. I'm so happy that the total world is waking up. And you know, that's why I wanted Donald Trump to get in, because I knew that when you saw this steamroller coming down on you, that you would have to get out the way. Is that right or wrong? Right? The most racist man in the history of a president and person in America, equivalent to that of Hitler. Huh? You know you got to get up and do something for yourself. Brother and sister, if you don't get up and do something for yourself, if you don't take these allies that are standing up, you got to stand up. White men are so mad today that they even fussing at their women for looking at black brothers. Huh? They ain't going to take nothing today. Don't know how long it's going to last. Huh? Don't know how long it's going to last. But this man is even willing to kill his what? He's willing to, I don't want to say because I got to stay on the web, but he's willing to take out his own woman. That's what he has to do. He's willing to take out his own woman to secure his quote unquote place in this society. I don't know what he's going to do. Will Donald Trump give up the office after 3 years? Or will Trump go into imperialism? We don't know. Become an imperialist. Like old Tricky Dick. We don't know. But this, brothers and sisters, will be a sight to behold. What is coming will be a sight to behold. A sight to behold. Today is strange because those that feel, and this is what the white man feels, this lets you know that he's off his course and his rocker. He'll even see what's happening. Around the world, oppressed people are rising up, and the white man has no idea what's going on. He literally don't know. He has no idea. He has no idea. This is God. God has revealed himself through all the oppressed people because they've been put to the place where they have nothing to lose. Nothing at all. Besides, when you put a tyrant in office, you asking for it. You asking for it. And I want to say this. A lot of the brown people that put Donald Trump in office, now his first order of business is to send them back to Mexico. And the shame of it is, this is the kicker here. The shame of it is that they're really not brown, they're red. They're red. Mexico, that northern Mexico and Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, these places are run by the Apache. Some parts of Colorado. Come on, brothers and sisters. Really no such thing as a brown man. Right? If you can really understand racism, you know that was created too. Created position. No such thing as a yellow man. But we use these sayings and these quotes against our will. We use it against our will. But there's only the indigenous red man and the indigenous black man. Because that same indigenous red man and indigenous black man comes out of Africa. That's the truth. There's really no other. There's really no other. You may have some results of race mixing because the true brown man come from the red and the black. You don't believe that? Just take a red crayon and a black crayon and let them cross each other and you'll get brown. That's the true brown. But not the brown that the Spaniards set because they had oppressed Mexico. Right? Because what they came in is they raped the black mestizo, right? And got the brown. But the brown came from the black. Is that right or wrong? Or what their version of brown is the mulatto brown. Is that right or wrong? Their version of brown is the mulatto brown. So I'm trying to explain it to you. But if you want real brown, you put the red man and black man together, you'll get some brown. It's been happening. And see, the indigenous people are all around you. Some of these brothers say, brother, I know you're talking about Africa, and I know you're talking about indigenous, because they're ignorant. They're ignorant. So you gotta have mercy on them when they talk. Just like the ignorant brown man that voted Donald Trump in office and thinking that he was gonna make a change. No, get in office, but we will want him to get in office because we know it's gonna all have to hang out then. We're gonna have to all hang out. And all of the racist people out there, if you white and racist, there's no way you can win a revolution with black people. You can't do it. And I pray for peace. I pray for peace. Because I know you can't win the war, but there'll be a lot of lives lost. All over this ignorance of racism, you got to be out of your mind. Racism isn't real. Something that was created, something that was manufactured to talk about superiority, inferiority, and supremacy. And I don't care how popular Donald Trump is, it will not work in this day. He should have been born at least 90 to 100 years ago, maybe then. But it will not work. It won't work this day because the oppressed people of the world are rising up. So it literally will not work. Won't work today. So brothers and sisters, we got some on our hands. We have some on our hands. We got a job to do. We gotta listen to our brothers and sisters. They're riding out. Time for us to listen to them. And if many of us will take our rightful place, Allah God has already made it so. For many of your financial deliverance, many of your land grants deliverance, many of your marketing deliverance. Too long has the white man divided the black man and the red man. That's why I get on the Buffalo Soldier. There's no way. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the Buffalo Soldier. The ignorance and the foolishness of the Buffalo Soldier. That's what Bob Marley was talking about when he said, Buffalo Soldier, dressed like Rasta, right? Fighting in America, right? Fighting for survival, fighting the rival, fighting for America, fighting for Jamaica. What do you get out of it? Buffalo Soldier didn't get nothing out of it. He's killing his own blood brother. Come on, brothers and sisters, you know what I'm talking about. Killing his own blood brother. Killing his own blood brother. And it's a shame. It's a shame. My heart goes out. My heart goes out to the ignorant. My heart goes out to the ignorant. We got to do better. We got to learn better. We've got to speak better. And we got to earn better. And now is the time. There's no reason why anybody in an oppressive situation should be oppressed today. There's no reason why you shouldn't open or own or operate your own business. No reason why you shouldn't work for other black businesses. There are plenty of black businesses out there. Plenty of black businesses out there. If not, going to farming. There's a lot of people farming. We got to wake up. Is that right or wrong? It's time for us to wake up. We got to wake up. We got to. We have no alternative. We have no alternative than to wake up. I just heard from our sister, so she should be coming on. She should be coming on. She's having a little trouble, but that's what I'm telling you. When you're about to do a mission, brothers and sisters, when you're about to do the mission, everything gets in the way. And the reason why is they know that you're involved in getting the truth out. They already know it. So everything gets in the way. But I'm believing and I'm thankful for what God is doing. That even if the sister don't come, the fact that the knowledge is up, it's powerful just to have the knowledge up. Just to have the knowledge up. Brothers and sisters out here in this day, still trying to hang out, still trying to go clubbing and all that. They don't even see the signs of the time. Don't even see their deliverance. Because they're busy wasting their time. Wasting their time, brothers and sisters. Wasting their time. What will you do today? Right? Doesn't the master say, the day you hear my voice, harden not your heart? God is speaking to us through all the events. He spoke to us through Helene. Before that, he spoke to us through Igor. Before that, Ivan. He spoke to us. He's been speaking to us through the storms, the rains, heartaches and pains, people that he's taken out of our lives, that have been great strengths to us, because he wants us to look to the hills from which cometh all of our help, right? If my people who are called by my name, what people? The indigenous people of the world. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and heal their land. Oh, brothers and sisters, I'm just waiting. I'm thankful, waiting for the day when God will heal the land. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going because we've got some good information to put out. Information that we put out yesterday. We're gonna go back over a little bit of it while we wait on our sister. She's gonna pretty soon be able to load up and talk to us. She's gonna load up and talk to us. We're gonna share this screen. Look at this information that we've had on here and understand the Catwanee Nation. The other day we rushed through it because we was waiting on our sister. We rushed through it, but we're gonna go now and look at the information put up about the Catawanee Nation. I want to know, can y'all see that? Was I able to? Oh, that's us right there. Let me remove this. All right. Let's get on this and add this to the stage. There we go. And now we're going to load up the sister's information so that we can see. Can you all see that now, brothers and sisters? Are we able to see that now? About the Catwanee Nation. Indigenous Royal Catwanee Nation. This is connected through bloodline and powerful for us. She's going to come and explain these things to us. And I've sent many of you the links. We spent some time reading it, and I was blown away with this knowledge. I was blown away with this knowledge and the interview, knowledge of the interview. And facts. Facts. This is Sister Crystal here. That's Sister Crystal. Facts that you can find that's been hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. I said, my goodness. My goodness. Hiding in plain sight. And we didn't even know it. We didn't know it. Hiding in plain sight. And we didn't even know it. Information that's already around us. We don't know. We don't know because we don't research. We're doing everything else but fighting to make a better future for our children, our children's children. We've given in to the enemy. What's your enemy that brought you here? I keep telling you that. Well, all of them not the same, brother. If you had 1 million bees in the middle of 1 billion bees, and a guy that had on 4 bee gear told you, don't run, because there's 1 million bees in the middle of that billion that don't have stingers. Brothers and sisters, you be out of your mind. You would literally be out of your mind, wading through 1 billion bees, hoping to get to the 1 million bees that don't have stingers. And I hope you get my drift. I hope you can understand what I'm saying, because it's too late in the hour. It's just too late in the hour for you and I to practice the ignorance that has kept us blinded for so long. It's too late in the day for you and I to be practicing that kind of ignorance. No, my brothers and my sisters. No. We should be standing and we should be anticipating the move that God has blessed us. Do you believe that when God is for you, he's more than the world against you? That's why these nations are rising up. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and of a sound mind. I'm still trying to connect the sisters, trying to see exactly what's going on. We got our ends taken care of. Our ends taken care of. So we just trying to communicate with the sister and find out if we need to go about this another way, because we want our sister to come on. We want our sister to speak to us. If I have to do it on the phone again, I do it on the phone, but we want our sister to speak to us. Now, what I'm going to try to do as well is I'm going to try this for the sister. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to try to paste this link in the comment section. If I paste it in the comment section, then maybe she can pick it up. I'm gonna put in here for Chieftess. We can try to do it this way. See if that will work. Say for Chieftess, then we'll tell her to click here. How about that? And we'll see if this will work. Hopefully it will. You never know. We don't want to give up. It's always one way, as the old folks say, to skin a cat. That's an Indigenous quote or cliche. So we'll tell her to click here and see if we can download this. See if we can download it. It's always a way. There's always a way. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find that way. We're gonna find it. So we got that there. We'll tell Chieftess to click this, and hopefully she'll be able to click this and come on. That's our desire and our prayer, right, brothers and sisters? So we can hear this good knowledge. So we can hear the good knowledge. So I have pasted it, and we'll see. So she's telling us she's on her way. She's on her way. So we'll just find out. I know she's getting some things together because we're going to be in for a talk tonight. And so we can find out how long it's going to take for her to come on the show. We wanted to have her to come on tonight. And I'm wondering if she can click the link through her phone. She can click the link in the comment section. I want to try that. Maybe that'll work, brothers and sisters. If you have any suggestions, please put them down. We'll tell her to click the link in the comment section on YouTube. And maybe that'll be better. But you know, when you're trying to do the work of God, there's so many obstacles. So many obstacles. When you're trying to do that work. So she should be able to use her phone, right? So we're gonna try it that way. We're gonna try it that way. We'll see. Nonetheless, If it don't happen tonight, we still had a good show. If it don't happen, we're going to do it again tomorrow. And we'll keep doing it till we get it right so we can put out this information. We don't mind obstacles. That just makes us more invigorated to get the word out. We don't mind the obstacles. If you like me, when you get oppression, it make you wanna work harder. It makes you want to work harder. So I say we wait, see what's going to happen. But what will you do, brothers and sisters, in this day and time? What are you going to do? Are you going to wait? Are you not going to aid our brothers and sisters that are standing out across the country? They're standing up. You can't sit down, black man. I'm not telling you to get out there and march. They're on their reservation, making a difference on their reservation. Right? I was listening to something about Russell Means. I'm going to see if I can pull that up. It'd be nice to pull that up. I was listening to the interview. Are any of y'all familiar with Russell Means? The American Indian movement. I'm going to put that in there. The American, and you'll see black, what do they call it? Black Hawk, Chickasaw, Osage, the Apache, the Comanche. And you look and you say, where's some black brothers come from? Black and red brothers. It dispels the myth that has been taught to you. Russell Means said, where are our black brothers? So you're our brothers. You're indigenous people. You come from us and we come from you. Our people have been lied to and oppressed for so long. Many of them wore down. I get it. I know you've been wore down. I know you've been wore down. I'm just asking you to dig deep for that extra strength. Dig deep for that extra strength. I want to show you all something from our brother, Russell Means, and I'm going to find it first and then put it up to you. But this brother said some powerful stuff. I remember when he was marching, he called me Little Black Hawk. Little Black Hawk. And Russell Means, when he would stand up, he'd invite us out and we stand with him. But I noticed the more serious he got, the red man began to get scared. And some black people began to get scared. Right? He said, we've lost so much, what do we have to lose? It's true, brothers and sisters. Our brother Russell Means with the elders now. You talking about a powerful brother standing up. They couldn't stop that brother from standing up and teaching at the American Indian Senate hearing. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him from standing. He had something to say, and brothers, he said it. Every indigenous man in America and Africa have listened to that tape so much that you've already got 3.6 million views. Brother was standing. Real brother. Wasn't afraid of the adversity. When you standing up, you can't be afraid. What is the white man going to do? When you standing up, you can't be afraid, brothers and sisters. When you're standing up. It's not going to help you to be afraid. God has called you out. And if he called you out, then he's qualified you. Is that right or wrong? Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I know you understand. He's qualified you to stand up. He's giving you what you need. He's giving you what you need. I'm a bring this brother on. He's powerful, and he could talk about a lot of the things that the indigenous people today are talking about. Talk about these things.
Greeting of my people.
So I'm going to bring him on, because I definitely want you to hear him. Definitely want you to hear Russell Means. And at the same time, we're going to be waiting on our sister. But I just want you to hear what this brother has to say, because he has something to say. And I don't want to hear other people saying, well, can't you edit? I'm not going to edit. We're going to do this live. We're going to do it live, so brothers and sisters can hear exactly what's going on. Also, while I'm saying this, we're going to be watching a 4-hour in other ways that we could entertain. We're going to be watching black and whites, right? And that's for family standard, right? Try to get some positive movies and stuff out there, right? So we could influence our children and adults in ways to help them take a double look at themselves and do things the old way. Learn from the enemy. We know they ain't gonna follow it, but the lifestyle of families have to change. I'm a conservative, and no, I'm no friend of Trump's. I'm no friend of Trump's, but I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative, and I believe that families should live conservative. Stop dressing wild. Tell your daughters to cover up. Tell your sons to pull up their pants and dress respectfully. Huh? That's right, brothers and sisters. This is the way we got to be. This is the proper teaching. So I'm going to let you listen to Russell Means. I'm going to mute my mic, and I'm going to let you listen to Russell Means. He has a whole lot to say, and he's a beautiful brother. And the power that he shared is a blessing. It's certainly a blessing. So let's bring our brother on. Russell Means.
Greeting of my people that I am bound to give, albeit it's a short version. What I said in my own language, translated into English thusly. Hello, my relatives. I am no Oglala Lakota, and I come from our very sacred holy land, the Black Hills. Where Yellow Thunder Village is. My mother is from the War Eagle clan, and my father's family is from the Crazy Horse clan. This greeting is to this day the way all Indians throughout the nation still greet one another.
those that still know their culture. This is the only way we present ourselves to one another that is acceptable. We tell you who we are, where we are from, who we are from, our clans, and we do this without ever saying our name. Anything less would be an insult to you and to my people. Senators, my morning prayers to the great mystery always include you and your colleagues in Congress, as well as leaders in all governments. It is an honor to come before you as a spokesman for my people, the American Indians of the United States of America. In these United States of America, this great country of ours, we American Indians, we can be anything we want to be, except American Indians. And that is created by the laws of this nation and condoned by its subsidiaries, the so-called tribal government, and designed for the Indian to fail, to be expendable, to be eliminated. I take you back in your history. After the American Indian hostiles had been subdued and forcibly confined to Indian reservations, it took approximately 30 years, one generation, for us to adjust and become economically viable, contrary to what the anthropologists say and what we even ourselves are taught as Indian people. However, allotments were made smaller, our remaining lands were open to homesteading, and we were forced into reducing our livestock. Nevertheless, we made the adjustment again in less than half the aforementioned time, 15 years, and become economically self-sufficient again. But once again, the American Indian was forced into reducing our livestock. The boss farmer concept was instituted. We were told what, when, where, how much, and how little we could grow. This applied to agriculture and our livestock. Again, we recovered in a time span of approximately 15 years. We were so successful in our third recovery that the American Indians enjoyed the finest of economic times, while the rest of the industrialized world was wallowing in the Great Depression. It was then that President Roosevelt introduced the Howard Wheeler Act, better known as the Indian Reorganization Act, the IRA, which institutionalized the so-called tribal governments, which are not one of our institutions. And it is still foreign to us this very day. We have yet to recover. "45 years later, the IRA, Indian tribal governments, on their own initiative, began renewed efforts at reestablishing their sovereignty, focused on the oldest profession of American Indians. That's gambling. Bingo and other gaming operations has been, without exception, a proven initial success. Failure through mismanagement, politics, or litigation has been less than 15%, showing a better than 85% success rate. The new Indian-sponsored gaming industry on reservations dwarfed success ratios of any and all other non-Indian industries in America. Gaming operations have proven to benefit the revenue gathering of all governments, be they county, state, or Indian reservation. With regulation of bingo and gaming by the Congress, we are experiencing repetition of history. One shouldn't remedy success. The results? The United States government, through Congress, once again intervenes to regulate a proven success in violation of all basic and fundamental rules of economics and totally contrary to all the laws of capitalism. American Indians are human beings. We are supposed to be citizens of the United States of America. We fought in your wars in other countries. Our Navajo Nation code talkers served and saved this nation in World War II. We have the inalienable right to joint venture with whom we choose, as long as we do not harm nor commit fraud upon anyone.
Worried about YouTube banning ad blockers? No need, just use Pi. The internet is so overrun with ads, it's barely usable. That's why Pi is such a game changer. It's a free Chrome extension that blocks ads on YouTube.
There is no piece of evidence anywhere that proves Indians ever conspired with criminal elements to establish bingo. The Bureau of Indian Affairs, the infamous Colonial Office of the Department of Interior, and the initiator of sleaze in government, has been regulating contracting on Indian reservations since 1824. This fact alone should convince and teach every student of government that regulation of commerce and enterprise does not work. In fact, it only produces the opposite result. Graft and corruption is rampant to the contracting auspices of the BIA and its surrogate tribal government. Indian front contractors bid for and receive government contracts only to proceed to build shoddy, dangerous bridges, buildings, schools, roads, and dams. The Indian is the scapegoat when there is a failure, and is always the one indicted. Contracting on reservations has proven historically to breed and feed corruption within the BIA and now the tribal governments. Within the past 2 years, I personally have attempted to assist 7 Indian reservations located in the Southwest, the Northwest, and the Northern Plains, to no avail. The investors I represented were from various groups interested in establishing banks, resorts, Indian-owned public relation firms, factories, fishing ports, and international trade. I now know that tribal governments do not want economic development unless graft is a major ingredient. The BIA is a major player in land leases being sold by petty bureaucrats for as meager an amount as $40. There is a scandal of monstrous proportions occurring in at least 2 Indian agencies, the BIA's branch of land operations and the branch of realty. I challenge this investigations committee to intricately go into the branches of realty and land operations. The BIA does not enforce its trust responsibility, quite to the contrary. In September of 1987, I moved from the poorest county in America, the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, to the richest area in the country, the Navajo Indian Reservation. There is no difference. I paraphrase the former Secretary of the Department of the Interior, James Watt. If you want to see an example of failed socialism, go to an Indian reservation. The poorest and richest reservations in our nation suffer from identical problems: mismanagement, a bloated patronage system, no checks and balances, and tribal government's waiver of sovereignty in order to initiate debt. This is not anything new. This is an everyday occurrence in all tribal governments. Problem is leadership. In this case, it is the lack of leadership. Ironically, everyone, including you senators, referred to the allegedly elected tribal officials as leaders. Leaders are supposed to work for a better quality of life for their constituents. It is an insult to my heritage, my ancestors, and my dignity as an Oglala Lakota to have the term used loosely. Many of the tribal officials are honest and sincere men and women who have good hearts. Nevertheless, a vast majority of the tribal officials parasite on the incestuous world of tribal politics. Not as our forefathers, who were the best providers, protectors, defenders, advocators, and friends. The game of who is the most important rules. It's embarrassing. At the turn of the century, American Indians numbered about 230,000, all traditional. With each succeeding generation, we lose our population base and our spirit as once proud peoples. The American Indian statistics of deprivation have remained constant since the end of World War II. All other groups of citizens, fortunes rise and fall with the gross national product, the GNP. The American Indian statistical lines of deprivation remains constant, a straight line. With the blatant genocide of our traditional people, we have less than 50,000 in America today. We are averaging a loss of 1,000 a year since 1900. We are losing a value system as distinct people that sets us apart from the industrialized world. These facts surface in our tribal statistics, and no one attempts to do anything about it except for a few social workers and reservation police. This new statistical horror is women and child abuse. Child sexual abuse is epidemic on Indian reservations, and all you hear are whispers. This abuse can be directly attributable to the schools on the reservations. Education in the BIA, public, the contract, and missionary schools do not teach positive values from non-Indian culture, and in collusion with the BIA, certainly do not allow Indian culture and values to be taught. The fact is, educators continually denigrate American Indian traditional lifestyle as primitive, dirty, and without any redeemable virtues. And the tribal councils condone it. Needless to say, every time the U.S. government has interfered with American Indian lifestyles, it has been proven to be disastrous. In the 1960s, legal services were implemented on Indian reservations. It was a boon for the people. Tribal officials all of a sudden were held accountable. Legal services stepped in, and lo and behold, tribal courts had power to the power of attorney for the people. The result? An edict from Washington, D.C. is handed down, and legal services can no longer represent people against the tribal government, and they can no longer represent class action lawsuits against any government. Presently, legal services are not much more than a mill for divorce lawyer trainees. Congress passed the American Indian Religious Freedom Act in 1978. To date, 6 cases concerning our freedom of religion has reached the Supreme Court. We lost every one of them. We do not win lawsuits. State governments lose. The only time we allegedly win a lawsuit, it is in reality the federal government winning out over the sovereign rights of a state. Once again, the American Indians are the pawn. Now, the major factors presenting American Indian people with existing rights to self-determination. American Indians suffer under a system of dual citizenship that is, U.S. citizenship and tribal citizenship maintained by the BIA. Only Hitler did that. The dual citizenship is a major obstacle in the free exercise of individual and tribal sovereignty. The continuing loss and attrition of existing lands through various federal, state, and local laws and/or regulations is a hindrance. The abridgment of sovereign rights to remaining lands and the arbitrary monetary policies of settlement of these rights whenever they are recognized. Preventing Indian people from self-determination, subjugation of the American Indian individual to the laws of government-sponsored tribal governments, and the continuing arbitration of the BIA rules and regulations which have the force of law yet are not repealable. Solutions. The American Indian people's right to self-determination is recognized and will be implemented through the following policies. The American Indian individual shall have the right to choose his or her citizenship, and the American Indian nations have the right to choose their level of citizenship and autonomy up to absolute independence. The American Indian will have their just property rights restored, which include rights of easement, access, hunting, fishing, prayer, and water. The BIA will be abolished, with the American Indian tribal members deciding the extent and nature of their governments, if any. Negotiations will be undertaken to exchange otherwise unclaimed and unowned federal property for any and all government obligations to the American Indian nations, and to hold fully liable those responsible for any and all damages which have resulted from the resource development on or near reservation lands, including damages done by careless and inexcusable disposal of uranium mill tailings and other mineral and toxic wastes. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for inviting me here. It's been a high honor, and especially since I'm the only one invited here today to testify that doesn't receive money from the federal government. Also, I want to I was introduced as a former founder and leader of the American Indian Movement to the tribal chairwomen that you have here, our former associates of the American Indian Movement back in the days when we were gross militants. And so I just wanted to let you in on that the American Indian Movement is a very proud, continuing part of American Indian society. And thank you.
Mr. Means, thank you. You certainly have left us with many provoking thoughts about the problems facing American Indians today. And you were kind enough and wise enough to also make some suggestions. I think that is what this committee is looking for. We may agree, we may not agree with them, but it is important to have some thought-provoking ideas of where we should go from the standpoint of the relationship between the federal government and the American natives.
Look at you, putting in work. You a hustler.
So, brothers and sisters, we've enjoyed hearing that, and it is the direction of the red man to continue his work, to control his end. As old folks say, that's my end down there, I'm going to control. And the indigenous people, black and red, you got a job to do that only you can do. Remember, brothers and sisters, it's because of the black man and the red man, because of the black man and the red man, that reservations and plantations were possible. We have a chance to reverse that today more than any time in history. And we have a chance to take control of our destiny, but we have to come together. And I want to say, which is the Catwanee motto from the sister who was not able to make it because there were many things that got in the way. I want to say this: Indigenous people of the world, we are one. And if you look, Russell Means spoke about that. And if you listen to everything he said, he also included the black man, because he says we're not able to express ourselves, and others too are not able to express themselves in public schools, in public domains, even on the reservation. So he let you know he was talking about all oppressed people, right? You got to be wise. You got to listen with your own ears. You got to think with your own mind, smell with your own nose, speak with your own mouth. The truth. God has sanctified the truth. The truth is the one thing that will help us. You can march and do everything else you want to do, but you have to organize this battle on truth against the enemy, a common enemy. So we'll have our sister next time to come on. We're going to close out, brothers and sisters. All praises be to Allah, the omnipotent, the merciful, master of the day of requital. Right? We recognize and we honor the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We recognize and we honor the most wonderful Master Fard Muhammad. We recognize and we honor the teachings that have been given to us. We honor the teachings that have been given to other Aboriginal indigenous people. We recognize them as people of God with one truth, and we welcome them with open arms, just as they welcome us with open arms. These things we are in gratitude of, and we're thankful. We're thankful. We're thankful for this life, to be able to give this show unto the most beneficent, merciful, loving God, Master of the day requital, the most beneficent, merciful God, who has had mercy on us and looks out for us and raises us up every day to grand risings of a beautiful day, taking care of our families, no matter what we're going through. We give thanks and we give honor to Allah God. We give thanks and honor to Allah God. And we give thanks and honor to the God of the black man and the red man, and even the God of devilish nations of people. Even this God that belongs to all of us is still a God of devilish people, and he will straighten them out. Our God will straighten out the evil. We have to stand in truth and power and keep praying, keep fasting, keep studying, and keep teaching, and God will deliver us. God can do what no person can do. For the indigenous red man, for the indigenous black man, God can do that. And God will do that. Only he can do it. Only he can do it. So some of the sisters out there saying, well, what if God says she? Then she can do it. Whatever you believe, just remember that God is able. God is able. And he or she is the only one that can handle it. I'm not going to get into semantics. Have it your way. Have it your way. But God will deliver us when we stand boldly, stand on truth, and stay in prayer. God can and will deliver us. He will. So he's bringing us together tonight. We've had some trouble again. But we're gonna bring Chief Crystal Catawanee on. When we figure this thing out, we got to find out what's in the way of her getting this signal. We got to find out. But we'll fix it, and we'll have her back on. Nonetheless, it's been a very profitable meeting. And I want to thank you for showing up. May Allah continue to bless you, and peace be upon you. If I didn't say it in the beginning, I say it now to you, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.